Thanks for joining us here on CBS News 24/7. I'm Lindsay Reiser. Closing arguments are underway in Donald Trump's criminal trial in New York City. Allies and member of his family accompanied the former president into court today. Trump's sons, Don Jr. and Eric, and his daughter Tiffany were amongst the largest family contingent to show support for Trump at this trial. I want to bring in CBS News national correspondent Errol Barnett, who's following this for us from Manhattan. So, Errol, in closing arguments, Trump's attorney Todd Blanche says Stormy Daniels and her team were trying to extort Trump. How has the defense attacked the credibility of witnesses today?
That's right, Lindsay. This is part of Todd Blanche's effort to leave the jury with the impression of doubt over everything Michael Cohen said. Remember, Michael Cohen, a key witness, a star witness, tying the hush money payment he made to Stormy Daniels to saying he got it the direction from Donald Trump and that Donald Trump then repaid him. He's had a number of one-liners, but he's essentially tried to create the argument that Cohen made the decision himself and then he and Stormy Daniels tried to extort Donald Trump. Donald Trump had nothing to do with any of this, is what he wants the jury to believe. CBS News campaign reporter and attorney Katrina Kaufman has been inside this morning watching those closing arguments unfold. Todd Blanche coming out the gate with not just the case to defend Trump, but a lot of one-liners, you could almost call them zingers, to leave the jury with this impression of doubt. How exactly did he lay that out?
So Todd Blanche has been very enthusiastic today, and a big target of that has been Michael Cohen. He says that the jury cannot trust Michael Cohen, that they have to believe Michael Cohen in order to believe that Trump had the intent to commit these crimes. And a few of the good lines where he said that Cohen is literally like an MVP of liars. The final thing he said, he gave a list of 10 reasons that the jury should have reasonable doubt in this case. And he said, Michael Cohen, he's the human embodiment of reasonable doubt, literally. He also said that there was a call that came into play where Cohen said he had called Trump's old bodyguard, Keith Schiller, to talk to him. Blanche says that he lied on the stand. He said that is perjury. So he's really doing everything he can to undermine what is really the prosecution's key witness to tie together this case.
And he's pointing to transcripts. He's using Cohen's own words against him. He's using very simple language and saying that was a lie, that was perjury, plain and simple. He also said that when it came to the Access Hollywood tape, and I think you may have seen some reaction from the jury when this happened, he said they tried to set it up in this trial to be something it's not. And then going on to say that tape was not a doomsday event. Take us inside the courthouse, because part of these closing arguments for each side is to have some theatrical component to leave the jury with an impression, and we're seeing the largest contingent of Trump children in the courtroom. Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Tiffany Trump, and Blanche made them, or some of them, part of his closing case. What did he say?
That's true. Well, in regards to the Access Hollywood tape, one of the reporters said that the jury, normally the jurors are very straight-faced in this trial, but apparently one of them just made a very surprised face when they tried to say that the Access Hollywood tape was not a big deal for the campaign. But there was a very striking moment. Trump is there. His kids are sitting just about a row behind him. Don, Eric, Tiffany, and her husband. And there was a point where his attorney, Todd Blanche, pointed out that two of the checks at issue in these falsification of business records charges were signed by Don Jr. and Eric Trump. And he said, why were they not called as witnesses? They were sitting there looking on right behind their father, watching all this happen. And Blanche is trying to undermine the prosecution's case by saying, why didn't you put them on the stand to testify in this case?
And so it's a moment when you can see that the jury's certainly listening, they're engaged, and they will soon have to make a decision on Trump's innocence or guilt. Lindsay, the next thing to happen once the defense completes its closing arguments is for the prosecution to give its final and last impression. So really, you're seeing Todd Blanche swinging, it seems, primarily at Cohen's testimony, so that at least one juror does not believe beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump committed these 34 felonies, which were repayments in the furtherment of another crime as far as election law here in New York is concerned. And you can hear some of the pro-Trump protesters who've been here in the park this morning. You had actor Robert De Niro as part of the Biden-Harris campaign also speaking to reporters ahead of this. So things really heating up here as we approach what will be closing arguments for the prosecution before the jury ultimately decides Donald Trump's fate.
Errol and Katrina, thanks.